I wasn't sure if I felt like making a video today, but for this topic, I felt it was necessary. This needs to be talked about. This makes me sad. It really does. It makes me sad to see how truly divided and toxic the Star Wars fan base has become, man. This is not how I envisioned Star Wars and its fans would be in the future. But I'm gonna make something very clear. The Star Wars fan base is a mess because Star Wars itself is also a mess. And I'm gonna explain why Star Wars is a mess. I'm gonna explain something to you, okay? Now look, I'm gonna give a prime example, or a metaphor, I guess. Now let's take, I'm gonna compare Star Wars and George Lucas to God and this universe, okay? Now, God created all this, right? He created all this. And when he created all this and created us, he gave us free will. And we are literally physically able to make our own decisions and do whatever the hell we want. However, God did enforce rules in this reality, in this universe. And for the most part, a large majority of us, most of us, follow those rules. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not tell a lie. I mean, most people lie. Pretty much everybody has told a lie at this point, but that's besides the point. Thou shalt not, it rhymes with grape, the R word. For the most part, most of us don't do those things, right? So I am able to sit here and comfortably make videos like this, go to work every day, come home, play a video game or two. Everybody's able to live their lives. Bad things do happen. People do get murdered. People get killed. It happens. But for the most part, we're able to, live our freaking lives. Heaven forbid something does happen, okay? Again, why do things often than not run smooth? Because there's rules. There are objective rules that must be followed here. Now, George Lucas made Star Wars. Okay? And he allowed Star Wars fans to create their own Star Wars stories. This is where all the extended universe stuff came from. Knights of the Old Republic. All the novels and comics and video games, all those stories were created by fans. They weren't necessarily approved by George Lucas. And in fact, George Lucas has stated that the extended universe is not his vision of Star Wars. And, when he gave people to go to create their own Star Wars stories, he didn't exactly enforce rules in the same manner that God enforced rules. Okay? Well, you could say George Lucas did with the first, 6 movies, episodes 1 through 6. But unfortunately, you got Disney over here changing a lot of those apparent rules. So the fact that he didn't exactly enforce rule to create our own stories with Star Wars, it creates nothing but chaos, dysfunction, confusion, convolution. Like, I love the extended universe, but even the extended universe had things in there that did not exactly work. You know, like the fact that Emperor Palpatine came back in the extended universe after Vader literally threw him down a freaking pit in the Death Star and he exploded.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
It's created a dysfunction. Especially now that Disney has Star Wars and they created more dysfunction. Which doesn't help the Star Wars universe at all. And you know, even George Lucas, when he made the prequel trilogy, okay, episodes 1 through 3, you had people that hated those movies. And he made them. Those 6 movies are his vision, whether you like them or not. Okay? But even him doing that created a dysfunction. Created arguments, fights, etc. on the internet, in the fan base. But now we're at this point where, man, I'm on Twitter, right? I like to keep up with conflicts on Twitter. Makes good content. Man, we at this point in the Star Wars fan base where people are sending out death threats, man. Like, there's this YouTuber called Star Wars Theory, and you don't have to always agree with him. Okay, you don't have to. Like I always say, like, look, I don't like the Disney Star Wars movies. I think they suck. I think they're terrible. But I'm not gonna freaking threaten you because you like a movie or two. Like, that's just outrageous. But look at these. Like that's how we acting? This is the Star Wars fan base now? I've seen some crappy fan bases in my time, bro, but this takes the cake. As this has got to be the most toxic fan base I've ever seen. And George Lucas, number one, he should have enforced rules. Like, he should have enforced the rules. Because then people would be very much more likely to follow those rules. Now I'm at the point where I can't even be mad at Disney completely. Because he gave anybody to go to just make crap up. You know, he kind of just did that. However, there is still such thing as a crappy narrative. I mean, if you've taken narrative writing in elementary school, you know it's possible to write a crappy story, okay? And Disney's definitely done that, okay? They've done that. More than once they've done this. Even some of their own older movies haven't aged particularly well. Let's be honest here, okay? It's possible to have crappy writing. I think us video game players know this better than anybody.
I'm gonna kick this door down! Hurry! This way! That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
And I'm just... like, I'm not even sure where I stand in this fan base anymore. Because I like the extended universe. I read those books. I read a lot of those books in middle school. Played a lot of the video games. Played most of the video games. Damn near all of them. But what's really Star Wars and what isn't at this point? It's just the 6 movies? I guess it's just those 6 movies. Everything else, it's like, why even? Like, who cares? Who cares? That's kind of where I'm at. And, you know, I think that's fine. I like the 6 movies. Some very memorable movies. I do like the EU. I still hate Disney Star Wars. I think it sucks. But why are we fighting? And you know what? I gotta make this clear. A lot of Disney Star Wars fans, I gotta put this out there. This might be a little this might piss somebody off. I don't care. But a lot of Disney Star Wars fans I noticed are of on that LGB, that LGB part of things. You know what I mean? Telling Star Wars theory they gonna cut his head off because he doesn't like a TV show. You know, for a community that says you should spread love, y'all do the complete opposite. A lot of y'all do the complete opposite. And then you gaslight people telling them they're sexist because they don't like Disney Star Wars stuff. You know, it's just, you guys are the real problem. You're part of the real problem. I'll admit Star Wars has always had its bad apples, but you guys are legitimately the worst. You Disney Star Wars people, I think you're a big part of the issue. Like I said, there is such thing as crappy writing. And the fact that you can't see crappy writing when you see it, hear it, I don't know, dog. But you can't be threatening people on Twitter just because they don't like a freaking TV show. Calling people sexist because they don't like a TV show. Sexism ain't got nothing to do with it. Like I said in my last Star Wars video, my favorite freaking Star Wars character is a woman. And a lot of Star Wars fans I know, their favorite characters in Star Wars are women too. I have a friend whose favorite character is Shaak Ti. I have a friend whose favorite character is Ayla Secura. Okay, you can't call us sexist. It's just, it doesn't work. That's not good. Okay. I think that's really all I had to say. This fan base is in shambles, and I don't think it'll ever be fixed. It bothers me because George Lucas, he's an old man now. And when he's gone, the legacy he left behind is gonna be just a mess. This is how the Star Wars fan base treats one another, man. It's sad. I don't like it. I don't like seeing stuff like this. Like, I am a passionate Star Wars fan. No fan base. I've noticed no fan base is ever happy. I know my console war watchers, my console war subscribers know that for sure. Like, you know, you got your Xbox, you got your PlayStation fanboys, you got your Nintendrones, you got your PC people. Just speak the truth. I can't even be mad at them. They say a lot of people say they act like they're better. I mean, PC is the master race. Like, I don't even own a PC. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like, anybody that fights over a console is a freaking plebeian. You're an idiot. Shut up. Why are you fighting over a plastic box? Okay. Bottom line is, nobody's ever gonna get along, man. It's just, this is literally human nature. But the fact that, again, George Lucas should have enforced rules. Without rules, people are gonna do whatever the frick they want. And it won't end well. For now, deuces. Sad, man. Sad.